What is up, my friends? Good morning, good day, good afternoon, whatever time you're listening to this. I'm from live. I don't know. I'm here in Portland. Came for my day job, my work job, not for Zumba. We were learning about this product that we're getting ready to roll out. And have gotten to enjoy the city a little bit. I will say, overall takeaway from visiting Portland, the people here are beyond nice. They are just very friendly, very nice. Everybody's been very helpful. And for this Mississippi girl from the hospitality state, I don't know if people have that experience when they visit my city. But I hope they do, but I don't know. My experience here has been amazing. Just the people are really cool and the scenery is really beautiful. Portland downtown where I'm staying is got the coolest vibe. It's just really cool. But since I was on this trip, even though I'm on this trip, I'm not off the clock as far as eating and working out is concerned. I have worked out every day since I've been here. I have stuck to my routine, my schedule of getting up at 4 and 4:15 and getting in there and getting it done. The gym is less than what I'm used to working out. I'm limited in equipment, but ironically, I am so incredibly sore. So obviously I was making it happen. I wanted to jump on real quick just to give you guys some tips that I have implemented on this trip to help me stay on track. So obviously, anytime you're traveling, you're going to have to do a lot of planning. We plan out our outfits, checking the weather, what kind of shoes are you going to need to take, what's the deal? You got to do that with your food too. I thought about, what we were going to be doing. We were going to be in training for all day, so while you're there, you're going to need to, are they serving lunch or are you going to be responsible for lunch? Are you going to have breaks? Are you going to need snacks? What's the deal? I personally always need snacks, so I'm going to give you two things that I usually take with me. First and foremost, Quest Protein, and no, I'm not endorsed by them. I just really love Quest Protein. It mixes really well, and you can get these at GNC for like less than $2 a piece. And sometimes they're running deals where you can it was ridiculous. So I get those. I get some individual packets. How many of these am I gonna need? And that way I can take these in my carry-on. I don't have to check a bag. I did not check a bag. You can take actually protein powders if you put them in a little Ziploc bag and label them. They never even pulled mine out of my bag. They didn't even question it. So it actually is on the TSA website that that's okay to bring. But these just make it even easier because I didn't have to measure anything out of my big protein at home. Next, apple and almond butter. You can get these. I mean, obviously this is an apple, so you can get these. But almond butter, you can get these little Justin's packets at Walmart. I think they're just maybe $1 and some change, but I knew how many days I was going to need these, and I'm actually going to take these on the plane. I have one more Quest Protein packet, so I'll actually be taking that on the plane at some point if I get hungry, because the flight from Portland to Dallas is really, really long. So that'll help keep me satisfied, so I'm not getting hungry and then eating crappy airport food. Next, and you had to know I was going to talk about this, right? So any city that you live in, they're going to have a store, a grocery store somewhere. The first thing you should do when you get to your destination is hit up that grocery store. Go get you some water. If you get a gallon jug, you can actually tote that around the city. I mean, I have. We haven't done a lot of walking, so I guess if you were going to be walking a lot, I don't know that you'd want a gallon jug in your backpack. That could be some training though, some extra training. Get in some weight, some little resistance training. But I knew we were going to be in training all day, and I didn't know what the water situation at the office was going to be like. I ain't got no shame. I walked up in there with my gallon water jug, and I put it beneath my feet, right at my feet, and I was just filling it up all day. And so I have just been using these all week. And I know I'm not the biggest fan of plastic from a recycling standpoint, but as far as recycling goes, you've got one container here instead of like all these bottles of water. And also a little frugal tip, Gallon water jugs are usually cheaper than they actually cost the same as the little small 20 ounce, or I think it's like a 16-ounce bottle of water. I don't know. But that's a super savings tip. And if you have other people with you, you can just keep this in the room and you guys can just refill your container throughout your trip. So it's really important to stay hydrated when you're traveling because it helps keep things moving. If you fly or you're in a car for any length of time, it's really stressful on your body. So drinking water can be really, really helpful at keeping things moving the way that they should. Do not think that when you go on vacation that you can just totally give it up. I mean, have a little fun, loosen the bone, Wilma. Have just a little bit of fun, but also understand that whatever, just like the holidays, you can't just go on vacation with reckless abandon and not have any consequences for that. And you can't be mad at the consequences when you practice no restraint, you know? That leads into what I really want to talk about, which is your perspective. And I'm going to put that water jug down because I realize that I'm like waving it around and flopping it on the bed. But your perspective, a lot of people start working out and, you know, they just kind of go about it with this lackluster attitude, or they're hot and heavy for a short period of time and then they, you know, it dwindles down and they kind of give up because they don't view themselves as an athlete. And it's funny that I'm talking about this because actually my friend of mine just posted a similar article, was in direct line of what I was thinking this morning. You know, if I didn't consider myself in training, I consider myself an athlete. Yes, I'm a Zumba instructor. No, I'm not getting paid to go out and, you know, endorse some Nikes. I'm not going to the Olympics or anything like that, but that doesn't matter. Look up the definition of athlete. You know, it's not, I should probably look up the official definition now that I'm telling y'all to do it. But I do know it's not, you know, there's not a qualifier that you have to have won a gold medal in order to be an athlete. You know, if you're, in my opinion, if you are working out and you're training for something, you're an athlete. You're an athlete, you know? And when you make that connection in your mind that you recognize yourself as an athlete, I promise you it will take your training to the next level. You will go from, do I want to work out today, to I have to work out today because I am in training. When you change your workouts to that of I am training, I'm not just working out, I'm not just exercising. Yes, you are working out and exercising, but it's a little mental focus shift that's going to cause you to work even harder. Because when you recognize yourself as the athlete that you are, man, it just does something in your brain to where you're next level at that point. You've leveled up, you've upgraded. So think about that in terms of your training. Are you looking at it like you're in training, or are you looking at yourself like you're an athlete, or are you just looking at it like, I mean, what are you doing? What are you really doing? What are you doing? If you change your mind about how you approach this whole thing, I promise you that is a tip for long-term success, because you should be training for life. You're training for when you get older. You're training for when you got grandkids and you want to keep up with those grandkids. You're training for that moment when you bend over to pick something off the floor and you don't throw out your back. 9 times out of 10, when people have some type of back injury, it's not that they did something fancy and there's really not a super cool story to it. It's usually either they tripped over something in the floor because their kids left a toy in the middle of the floor, they bent over to pick something up and they didn't use proper form, and they've got weak glutes and back muscles, and the next thing you know, they're out of commission. You have to train your body to combat old age. That's the deal. I mean, because there is one constant in life, which is we're all getting older every day that we're here on this planet. So change your focus. Always plan. This also goes into training. I am an athlete. I don't just eat crap. You know what I'm saying? I eat real food, and I eat, which, I don't know, jury's out. Is this real food? Probably not. But this is. And I try to eat more of this than this, but that, you know, whatever. Anyway. So, you dig? Does that make sense? You guys, change your focus. Try it. Try it. Start looking at yourself like an athlete. Start looking at your exercises and your workouts like training, and I promise it will take you to that next level. All right, I'm headed home today, so I'm about to start getting packed. I'm going to go have some breakfast. I'm looking, there's still no clock over here, so it's I keep thinking there's a clock there, but flight leaves. I'll be home late tonight, and then I'm teaching Zumba this Saturday. So if you're in town, come dance with me. All right, y'all have a great day. Mwah. Peace out. Love y'all so much. Bye.